Hello there gang, Devere here with a bit of a special past blast in which we should be playing the original Unreal. The reason this is a special, we shall get to that very shortly, but for now let's just dive on in. So multiplayer obviously these days is a bit dead, but you do get a single player campaign. You can also run a bot match. You set your rules, your settings, your number of bots, which I believe is up to 16, because the multiplayer was also up to 16. And of course it's a classic arena shooter in the multiplayer. But first, before we do, let's have a quick look at the preferences. Because it's only for some reason I can get this running up to 1680 by 1050. Bit odd. I could probably find a config to muck around in, but for the time being it doesn't. With the age of the game and the graphics, it's not that big a deal. You might want to change your font size to double so you can read what you're doing as well. Controls, of course, are fully rebindable, which is always nice. You can change your kind of HUD's displays and layouts. I'll just leave it on the standard, as well as your crosshairs. You also have a few audio settings. Well, there's a couple of game settings there, and if your multiplayer was still active, which it's not because it was GameSpy Network, you can settle your modem and that there. Good grief, 28k modems, eh? So let's just dive on and start a new game. And that's let's just play the base game for the time being.
Prisoner 849 escaping.
I'm going to guess that's me, as everyone else appears to be somewhat dead. Dead people don't normally escape. Well, this is Return of the Living Dead or something like that. So the story, as you can probably guess, being quite old school, it's told through those little logs that you can find and read. But yeah, whatever. Like you're playing this for a story.
Prisoner 4 escaping. Prisoner 327.
So it's got quite an atmospheric start though, with all the explosions, the fogging, the screams, and the but of course graphically, yeah, it is showing its age. But of course, this was released back in 1998 by Epic Games, and I believe it was published by GT Interactive. I'll have to probably check on that. Oh, I forgot to collect up some stuff up there. Oh well. Let me get back up there. Being old school, there is a lot of places to go find and explore and pick things up, but for the sake of brevity we'll just keep moving. Oh, that was clever, I just ran for the explosion. So of course back then Epic Games were fairly unknown, and of course this was developed on the Unreal Engine, which of course how times have changed. Now Epic Games of course are absolutely massive, especially with Fortnite, the success of that recently, and of course the Unreal Engine, now on Unreal Engine 4, has powered so many games over the years. We could be here all night doing a video just listing them. So it's got a pretty good pedigree. And this is the original Unreal, which is quite funny because at the time this was released back in 1998, that was kind of a standing joke that the title Unreal was a reference to its system requirements, because yeah, this took an absolute beast of a PC to run back in the day. So this is single player wise is it's all pretty straightforward. I mean, but where it stands out really in the way of the gunplay is very much a product of its time. It's just the map and level design. There's some pretty mad absolutely mental in fact layouts in this game. You'll be exploring round, looking for secrets, blowing holes in things, detonating barrels to get through. It really did for the time. Really sort of brought a lot to the table. Of course, along with the multiplayer, which of course Unreal is perhaps more famous for now, would be the multiplayer. Unreal and Unreal Tournament, of course, especially so. It's got some semi-open outdoor areas. I mean, it is a linear game. This is unapologetically old school shooter. Insofar as... Can we get in there, please? Little odd glitches like that for the age. But... So it does shooting, really. You do get a fairly decent selection of weapons. Relatively limited more on the enemy types, but not terribly so. But the enemies for its time, I don't know if we'll see it in this playthrough, they were quite advanced. Some of them would duck and roll to avoid your gunfire. And the weapons, pretty much every conceivable type of weapon you'd expect from this sort of era. Plenty of explosives, rounds. I mean, this pistol here itself is sort of a slow-moving, low damage, but it does recharge its ammo over time. So you can't theoretically run out of ammunition in this game. Well, no, theoretically about it, you can't, because of course it's always recharge, but not something you really want to be going into combat with some of the more heavier armed enemies later on in the game. But it's in its time. Massive waterfalls and... Yeah. That's the reason I thought to throw this video together is because if you're very quick, you might have noticed I said the date 1998. That is, of course, 20 years ago. Which means this is its 20th birthday, and as part of the celebrations, Epic are currently giving the game away. I thought I had something there behind me. I've got my pistol. I should really use that. Oh, we do. That was a bit sloppy shooting on my behalf. Yes, it's currently being given away for a very limited time on Steam and GOG.com. So if you're not keen on Steam, the way they've been recently, there's plenty of reason to understand why people would be not so keen on it. I should have gone that other way, shouldn't I, where that alien came from. Oh well, not to worry. There's plenty to explore and secrets to find in this game because it's old school. But yes, so I believe it's only something like $6.99 anyway. What am I doing? That's not what I want to be doing. Obviously, the quickest way to get this is just over. So you've got all your armour, your other super armours, health boosts, super health, etc. It's got all the things you'd expect of a game in this era. But it just still is outstanding for the map design. Oh, my fault. It just really is some great map design. It's a bit of a strange projectile pistol, this one. In fact, as far as level design goes, it's hard to think of a game offhand that really has come along that's done any better in these 20 years, in all honesty. A fairly decent amount of content for your money. Oh, that's pretty harmless. But yeah, that's certainly a price that none of us can disagree with. I'm pretty sure. Being free for the time being. How long it's going to go on for? I suppose it'll go a couple of days or maybe this weekend. Not 100% sure. I'll go up there, I think. But even for $6.99, you still get a pretty decent amount of game for your money. There's quite a fairly decent amount of levels and that to this game. Oh, yeah, I should have remembered that. Audio cues are quite important in this game. Oh, that was sloppy. Stay there, I'll be back in a minute. I know he's coming to me, that'll save a lot of hard work. Oh, what? He's still upright. Are you joking me? Let's get in here and finish the job. Just call me Arthur. Arthur Job. I think we'll just about conclude our dealings here, gang. So, for the money, whether you paid a $6.99 or free, if you're quick enough, this is still a great game, really, with the single player, the bot matches, a very big single player campaign, yeah, decent bot matches that are quite hectic. I mean, they're old school bots, so even at the lower skill levels, I'll hit you quite often. You won't, what the? Wow! I fell for that trick. The game likes to do things like that on you. Likes to try and ambush you or have exploding bits of scenery around. It keeps you on your toes. You do want to be oh, that was sloppy jumping there. You do want to keep your jump button covered at all times, for sure. You won't be doing a lot of walking, let's just put it that way. Might as well just grab these few things in here. So yeah, you get a good selection of weapon types, good selection enemies, plenty of game for your money. And a fairly decent soundtrack for the age of it. Because of course eventually this series became very much known for its multiplayer than anything else. But here single player is definitely very much the focus. Don't actually want to go that way, or I probably want to go this way first. Let's just take care of this little chappy. What? I'm getting sloppy here. Come on. So I'll just take care of this chap and we'll conclude our dealings. See, there's a good example. By blowing that barrel away, we open up another way through, or you can go back and find the switches. You get a lot of options like that in this game. So yes, we'll conclude our dealings here, gang. Unreal. If you get Weaving, you can get it for free on GOG.com or Steam for a limited time. But if not, it's $6.99 and it's still an absolute classic. And it's the game that started the whole epic thing, the whole epic adventure, I suppose you could want to call it that. Rolling, the very first iteration of the Unreal Engine. I mean, maybe it is the nostalgia goggles here, but it still looks pretty good. All the various dynamic lighting and fogging going on, a variety of environments, even if they are obviously very low polygon by today's standards. So yes, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful and entertaining in some way. As ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're alive. And I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.